we talked about the three position. And, last week after our show aired, this rumor kind of sparked all over the place. Was that we are interested in making a serious push for PJ Tucker. Many believe after our trade for Melton, we were kind of done pursuing Tucker, that wasn't going to work contractually. But NBA insider Mark Stein doubled down on the PJ Tucker report, saying rival executives believe more than ever that PJ Tucker will sign a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Sixers. And also in the report, Harden could possibly opt out and sign a team-friendly deal in order to help facilitate the signing of his friend PJ Tucker. So there's it's a mixed bag on this online. So I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about giving a 37-year-old a 3-year deal in PJ Tucker? Eric?
I mean, to me, the 3-year deal matters the most if in that third year. And when I say that third year, is like having him go past a Joel or, James contract. I think if he's before that, I think you can work it. I mean, I think maybe I would believe that third year is some non-guarantees in there. I can see that happening, but it's a mid-level. I mean, it's a mid-level, and I'm not necessarily looking at the age as much as I'm looking at the last 2 years. He's helped teams win a championship and almost get to the finals. So I'm looking at the production, what he's done and what he's able to give to our team. I think he's worth a mid-level. He's proven it the last couple of seasons. I believe that he's worth it. I think people are looking at the 3-year deal. And I understand that at that age, but I do think from the production standpoint, for what you would want in that role, in that, that level, he fits it. I would have to maybe have some consideration with that third year, in my opinion. But I do see him definitely worth that mid-level for 1 or 2 years for sure.
Teja, what do you think about PJ Tucker? I know you're a big fan, so here we go.
I've gotten so many arguments with people on Twitter already about this. People are making a big deal about $10 million a year. Heat are offering him $9 million a year. So that's what the rumor is. 3 years, $27 million. They're offering him $9 million. You can't offer him the same to come over here. You have to offer him a little more. And what's that $1 million going to get you? Who's the $1 million? Well, what is this gross overpay of $1 extra million that you can't even get anyone with? So what's the big deal? I don't understand. It's not our money, as the famous saying goes. You pay him $1 more million and you get the guy you really want. But if you don't do that and you say and you tell fans, well, we would have given him 9, but 10 is just way too much. So we have to settle for another guy that we really don't want that badly. That's when you get booed. There's no gross overpay with $1 more million. If that's what Pat Riley thinks he's worth and we're giving him $1 more million, I'm okay with that. I trust Pat and I trust Daryl, two of the better basketball heads in the NBA. If they think he's worth that range, then that's fine. I do agree with Eric, and I've said this too. I'm hoping that third year is a little, less guaranteed than the other ones. But if the rumors are correct, Harden's going for a 3-year, pretty much a 3-year deal, either whether it's an opt-in or 2, or he opts out and goes for 3. It's a 3-year. That's the window with this team, more or less, unless it's like they all do a 1-year deal after that. So if it's a 3-year window and Tucker's your guy to be the 3 and give us what we need, then do it. I just don't see, as far as the Harden part, I mean, if he does the whole opt-out and does the shorter-term deal, he's 1,000% all in for taking this seriously and winning. That would show me everything if he does that. That would really surprise me. And he really wants his guy here, not only because it's his friend. That's ridiculous that people were saying that, but because that's what they need. And they said that right after it ended. And everyone's making jokes about he killed the Sixers. Well, of course you want the guy that killed you. When you're playing in the park and the guy does you up all game, you want to be on his team eventually. I mean, you want to partner with him, right? Isn't that what we do nowadays in the modern NBA? Partner with the guy that beat you, Durant. That's what you do. That's what happened. So I'm totally okay with it. I mean, are there better options possibly for giving up assets? Sure, but for not giving up an asset and then getting him, if Harden just takes less, it's a win.
Yeah, 100%. And I gotta say, a lot of people say, oh, we're not doing enough to help Embiid out. Embiid explicitly said after that we lost the Miami Heat, we talked about what does this team need. He said we need guys like PJ Tucker. I mean, he literally said him, and he gave a bunch of reasons why we need PJ Tucker type, right? There's not many PJ Tucker types in the league, right? And when you're saying the guy by name, it's like, okay, well, Embiid likes him. Morey kind of resurrected his career in Houston with Tucker. Let's bring it back to Philly and help Embiid out. Like everyone always says, the end of the goal is we don't want to waste Embiid's prime. If Embiid's pinpointing a player that he wants, let's bring him in. It's kind of where I stand with it.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. It's exactly what we need. He I tweeted a stat recently. He was the second. I think he out-rebounded all of our starters, I think 2 games in the playoffs. He shot like 54% or around 50% against us from 3 in the playoffs. Like, yeah, Doc Rivers and Morey saw it front and center why they want him. They saw that. Now, we're going to talk about this. I like another guy so we don't run him ragged during the season because I want him fresh, especially with those 37, 38, and 39-year-old legs. So that becomes a priority too. Don't run him ragged during the season.
Yeah. Another thing about Tucker, he can guard. I've seen him guard 1 through 5. I mean, he can guard anything. And
yeah,
he's 37 too doing it. So it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the people are getting so wrapped up in the age aspect of forgetting what he did and what he did to us in the playoffs this year. So I think people are trying to liken the signing of Horford to signing a PJ Tucker because Horford dominated us back in the day. We wanted to get him on the team, and then that didn't work out.
That's a legit concern. That's a legit concern for people. But I just think that PJ's role would be smaller, and the expectations that you have for Al, were different. Starter behind or Joel, where I think PJ will be more of a 3-and-D, off rebound, hit the corner 3, defend. It's a more restricted role, and it's a role that we've seen him star in. He's not a star, but he's a star in his role. So I think that's a role that's necessary for us. And he doesn't necessarily stack with other players, meaning him and Tobias can play together. Him and Matisse can play together. So he's not a guy that you don't want to play with certain guys that's already on the team. So he fits.
Yeah.
But I do understand why people would say that. That's very legit concern.
Let me ask you guys a question real fast. So if Harden, would you guys give Harden 1 more year if he agreed to a lower amount per season?
So
like a
4-year deal?
Like a 3-year guaranteed, maybe 4th team option or something?
I would, if I'm a executive, no, I'm going for the 3.
A 3 with 3 at more money each season.
No, I'm just saying the 3-year deal that we talked about. Yeah, I would stick with 3, and then you can always do 1-year deals after that.
Yeah, no, I would love a 3-year at less money too. But if it was like if his representation said, we'll go 4 years at way less money to fit Tucker in, but we want 3 years with
Would that 4-year go past Joel? How many years does Joel have?
I need to see.
You can't go past him, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true too.
All right. Are you looking it up, Teja? Are you looking up the Joel Embiid's contract?
I am looking it up. I got it right here. We should all know this. This is our lifeline for the next few years. 22. It would go beyond that though. But if you don't think they're going to lock Joel up for another,
you can't go past Joel though. You can't.
I don't think Joel's going anywhere though. Let's be honest.
It doesn't matter though. To me, you can't have a contract, especially a bigger contract that goes past his current one.
Oh no, it's not. Sorry, his extension goes beyond that.
Okay.
Oh, estimate. Okay, so technically it would, but
then I would say no, you can't do it.
So when is Joel's?
But if they're planning on giving James 3, they're obviously planning on extending Joel. I don't think that's going to be.
I get it. We would think that, but they haven't. So until then, You have to operate on his current deal.
Yeah.